What's up, guys? Welcome to an edition of Market Marauders. Be in the market one trade at a time. If you're new to Market Marauders, it's an investment channel. It helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Now, this is going to be my weekly Penny Stock Watchlist. This is just a video that I do every week to try to help new investors find a path forward with trying to determine what stocks to find and how to pick stocks and how do you find good penny stocks. So I'm just going to give my watch list. These are all educational purposes, so just bear that in mind. Always do your own due diligence. After this, don't let this be the only video that you use. Go and research the company, and we're going to dive into it. So the chart that I'm using is the Weebull app chart. So if you've seen some of my videos in the past, I used the chart from stockcharts.com, but I recently got a Weebull account, so I know a lot more people use Weebull, so it's easier to actually go and navigate on something that more people use. So if you want to sign up for Weebull and you don't have a Weebull account, I have a link down below where you can sign up. Also, if you want to use Robinhood, I have a link down below for that as well. So let's dive into it. The first one for this week is ticker sign GNUS for Genius Brands. Moving average 50 is 202. Moving average 200 is 198.85. And they ended the week at 205. So if you're new to Weebull, it kind of was a little bit of a learning curve for me. But the way that I currently have this set up is on the left hand side, this is like the volume. So this just shows you from just a time stamp point of view, the volume of how many people were buying and selling. The green is obviously buying and the red is selling. On this section, I added in the moving average 50 and moving average 200 section to this. And what I do like about the chart that they have on here is the ability to go and look at the candles. Now, going to from stockcharts.com, it's not as detailed as these stocks are, as this stock chart is. So I kind of like this platform a lot better. And you can really see how the stock is actually moving. So volume wise, you can zoom in pretty far in to see how the stock is actually behaving real time. And for people out there who follow patterns for day trading, it helps with that. And also for people who like to have more information when they're actually trading, it helps for that as well too. So for all my further videos, I'm going to be doing the chart analysis from Weebull. So hopefully it'll help more people platform wise, because I know it's a common ground between Weebull and Robinhood. Those to me are the two main platforms that most people use. So I'm going to try to use those for my chart analyses. But in these videos, I also like to go over some background information on the company. So let's jump into some background information on Genius Brands. So background information on them and why I chose them. They're basically a channel that has educational information for children. It's called the Cartoon Channel, and in that channel, basically they have like Mama Llama and some other actual shows, which I'll click on after this. But let me go over some of these press releases. Says Genius Brands International announces 9.0 million registered direct offering. Shareholders letter. They have international announced 2.8 million registered, and then Genius Brands International launch cartoon channel digital network across Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Comcast, Cox Select TV, Dish. and more. So basically, they're expanding their channel. So if we click on here, we can see this is their cartoon channel. These are all the different platforms that they're going to be using. Now, one thing that I do like about this is that it's educational information for children, and that is like one of the biggest markets. It's kind of its own niche market, but it is a very big market, and I think the company is going to be very profitable in the future, especially since you know the whole quarantine situation. A lot of kids are basically at home, and it's basically changing the whole way. School and stuff is being structured. So I think any sort of educational platform to help kids get a head start that's not directly in school, I think is going to be a profitable move forward for that company, and especially in an entertaining way. So I think this company is going to be profitable in the future, and that's why I picked them for my watch list. So second on my watch list for this week, I have ticker sign HTBX. And going into the chart, we got the moving average 50 of 104, and moving average 200 of 102, and it ended the week at 102. So it ended the week like right at its moving average 200, and kind of at its moving average 50. They kind of converged to the same point. So it's going to be interesting to see how this stock actually plays out for next week. Volume wise, if we looked on the left hand side, there were a lot of sales, a lot of sell orders. Why it ended in the red, and also in after hours there were a lot of sales as well. But I do believe that might bounce back moving forward in the upcoming week. So the reason why I chose them is because of their press releases and things that the company is actually doing. So when I pick a stock, I like to go in and read some information, background information. Now, all this information, like the one about the cartoon channel, and this one, this press release from Heat, uh, Biologics, it's not like I have access, like special access to this information. This information is all public, so just Google the company's name and press releases, and companies that are publicly traded will have all the information on their website. And in those press releases, you can go through and just read information that the company has published on what's going on in the company. So those are things that I like to read, just so that I can get a perspective on what these companies are doing and how they make money. In those press releases, you also find earnings. You also find um, earnings calls numbers if you want to listen to our earnings calls and other things of that nature that'll just help you make a more informed decision when finding the stock. Now, sometimes you'll go on here and get information. It may be actually ahead of a news article that's being released, but I like to read it directly from the websites because sometimes when different places, CNBC or other places like that, get a hold of these articles, they like to kind of elevate them or downplay them based on certain narratives or whatever narratives they want to take. But for me, I'd rather just go to the source and read it for myself. Just personal opinion, and you should always fact check uh, sources like that. So any news article that you get that's not directly from the company, you should always fact check it to make sure that it's real. Because sometimes some of those companies or some of those news outlets that post stuff, it may not be completely accurate, but coming from the company, it's 100% accurate. So jumping into this article, it says they announced a collaboration with uh, Wasteman Biomanufacturing to manufacture tests for the whole pandemic situation. So I think this is going to be, very profitable in the future. They're kind of in that whole niche market as far as the whole pandemic is concerned. And them saying they're going to manufacture vaccines, I think is fantastic news. Um, and something that the whole world need, everyone's going to need. But the fact that they're collaborating with this other company, just saying, we're going to manufacture it. Just let you know that whenever the vaccine comes out, this is going to be one of the companies that's going to be profitable and be able to capitalize on that actual vaccine coming out. So hopefully there's one soon that comes out for that. But I think this is good news for the company as a whole, and I think it can yield them to be very more profitable than they currently are. So, this article is online. You all can Google this article and then read it. I'm definitely not in the healthcare profession, so some of these I would butcher, so I'm not going to go through and read all this, but that was just a summary of what it was saying. So going into my last pick on my watch list for the week, I have ticker sign AIM, and that is for ImmunoTech or AIM ImmunoTech Incorporated. So there are quite a lot of buys going into the end of the day. Volume actually increased quite a bit. And then that actually shows on here as well. Moving average 50 is 275. Moving average 200 is 246. And they ended the day at 280. So they're above their moving average 50 and moving average 200. And those are represented by these two lines, by the way, this yellow line and this purple line. So if we go into the chart a little bit more, we can see the actual volume increasing based on following this side metric. Now, the way I had this chart set up, I basically went through and got all of the stocks and put them into my watch list. But one thing you have to do is just make sure you set them all as the same group. So when you go through and you get the chart, you'll just go to the top in this button on the side, and you'll do widget settings, and in there there'll be a drop down menu in widget settings, and then you can go and add this is the quotes one, this is the chart one, I think this is volume. I think this one was already on here when I did it, but you could add those different on there. But in order to actually get them linked to where, if this wasn't on here as one and this was like two and this was another number, then there would be different charts for different metrics and it wouldn't all be the same information. So just make sure you link those all as the same group when you're going through your watch list, and it'll make it, run a lot smoother. Also, you can go in here to the settings, which is this scroll thing right here, which is what I did, and I added the moving averages, and I added the different colors on here for my moving averages. They also have pivot points, SAR, super trend, WAP. Then you can change the different moving averages that you want. You can go in here and change it by length, which is what I did, but the easier way to just go through here and click on them. And then you can change the color as well, which I changed it to yellow and purple. So it's just a little tip. If you're trying to set up a chart to match one like this, you have a little bit more variety when it comes to doing that. Now, jumping into the last one, the press release from them. I'm just going to read off some of their press releases. It says Immunogen initial data at ASCO for forward 2 study evaluating this drug that helps to cure ovarian cancer. So they have a lot of things they're doing company wide, and a lot of updates that they have regarding a lot of their actual drugs that they have coming out. And I think that's going to yield the company to be very profitable. Volume wise, if we go back to the charts, volume wise, they've been doing pretty good volume wise. And I think that volume is going to continue to grow for next week. That's why I picked them. But they seem to have a lot of momentum and a lot of updates coming out with this whole Avastin drug that they're kind of trying to get put out onto the market. So I think as more updates come out about that, I think the stocks can continue to go up, and that's why I have them on my watch list. So drop a comment down below. Tell me if you guys like Weebull better than Robinhood, or or is Robinhood the go-to for you all? Also, drop a comment down below. Tell me which stocks you guys are looking at for the week. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.